All right, boys. So you boys went up to Rocky a couple of weeks ago for the Beef City Brawl Challenger Series event. 6-hour trip. You couldn't pay me enough to be in a car with Ray for that long. Parky, how was your ears, mate? They would have been absolutely bleeding by the time you got out of that car.
Mate, no, it was quality. It was quality conversation the whole way, mate. So much so we were an hour late. We were an hour late. Ray, you can tell the story if you reason why we were an hour late, if you want.
We had to pick up young Curtis from Gympie, and Parky got heavily involved in the conversation and decided to overtake the truck and talk at the same time, which he missed the turnoff. Then when we realised that I'm from 10 minutes away to 20 minutes away, we gone, shit, that was the turnoff we had to go to. Anyway, so we were planning to go to the next turnoff. Same thing happened. Parky got deep in the conversation again. We missed the next turnoff. We actually drove past about 38 minutes past Gympie to stores to go to Curtis.
Valid. It's a true story. It's a true story. So a 6-hour trip to Rocky was about 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
So It sounds like the pre-event drinks before the event actually might have started even earlier than that.
No, we haven't even got into the drinks yet. So that was the problem.
So boys, any highlights from the event? Because obviously I didn't get to go up there. Very, very busy down here, keeping the country going. But any highlights in Rocky from the event?
The one thing they put me in your role, so I was going around interviewing players. There was a couple
that would
of
have been
players,
pretty hard.
Yeah, there was a couple of young ladies from Touch Rugby League giving it a go, and they were saying they were very impressed with the concept of it all. It's not your usual just turn up, play your 30, 40-minute game somewhere, go through the motions, you go home. It was something different. Every game was a different mindset. That was impressive. And the other highlights that I really got is your random players who we know through rep levels. They were following the leaderboard without ever having one of these events yet. They knew that Dylan Stanton, for example, they knew his score. And they were saying that they reckon this player could be better than them. This player could chase him down.
Yeah, right.
The one thing they were all impressed with was they can play in Rocky and still challenge people on the Gold Coast. They were happy with that, and that's what I took away from the event. That was good.
I think for me, I mean, obviously when you always go to Rocky, they always put on a good event. You know, I mean, the crew they got up there is very, very solid. So you just knew what you were going to get in for when you got up there. What I was impressed about, the highlight for me, was the mullets on show.
There's a few up there,
mate. Dean Allen, obviously we all know Dean Allen, referee for Queensland, one of the best blonde mullets we've seen. But I did come across
Is it
one
blonde?
of the best.
Is it blonde?
I don't know. What do you call it?
I think he's a ranger. He is dead set a ranger.
No. Well, if he's a ranger, I saw the ranger. It was fantastic. There was this one of the best mullets I've ever seen on this young bloke. Right? It was beautiful. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful mullets I've ever seen. And I said, mate, that's impressive, dude. I said that's one of my highlights of being up here this weekend. I mean, I can't grow it, obviously. No mullets here. But that young man was very impressive. Most impressive thing I saw all weekend, actually, at the event. Yeah. So that was one of my highlights, was mullets.
Fantastic. And talking about the boys and their mullets and the girls and any talent that you saw that you hadn't seen before? Any talent jump out at you? Any good players there?
I mean, I think definitely there's some young sides there. I can't remember the name of the teams there, but there's definitely some youngsters there that understood the concept and where to score from, and they really took advantage of that. And that sort of started to, whilst the start of the event, a lot of them were just off because it was new for them. But once they got into it, the whole energy just changed, and it was okay. They switched onto it straight away. So yeah, there's some pretty good talent. There was not some pretty good talent, very good talent up there, and I think that's a big thing with Challenger. It's unearthing a lot of these players that are coming across from other codes to come and play Oztag, which was definitely evident on the weekend at the event for sure.
The one thing I like to notice, when it got to the repechage round or the chase the margin rounds, and players knew they needed X amount of points to score. They weren't just thinking, let's roll through 3, 4, 5 plays and then just score the last play. They were going, we need to score from the same 3. They started attacking it straight away. And you saw some breakaway tries. You saw people kicking early on themselves. You just saw a different style of play because they knew they were chasing points. It wasn't just a standard 1, 3, get to a corner, kick, whatever.
I've noticed that when I've been on the sideline a few times now, everybody's starting to talk about chase the margin. So it's probably one of the best things we've done with the Challenger Series, Parky, I think. It's making those game 4 and 5 that much more interesting, and everybody's really ripping in. So that's a good one. Hey, I actually saw on the socials yesterday, I got a feeling it might be wrong, Parky, but they said they got a new leader in the females, mate. I got a feeling that might be wrong. Is that right?
I think Talia Cassa's way up there. I mean, did a great job, and Tiana Slater as well.
Yeah.
And we'll bring that up in the leaderboards, a bit later. But they're way up there for sure. Did a great job.
Yeah. But the leading
let's just see if we can get it up, mate, and just check it out.
Yeah, if you want, because so two of them actually jump. If you were just looking at the ladies, adult ladies, the Talia and Tiana, both from the Beef City Brawl, have knocked up there on to first and second. But if we add into that, if we add the co-ed into that, I think you've got Tia Murray. Is absolutely flogging it at the moment when it comes to leading lady.
You've got Tia Murray and Florence, mate, from one of the earlier events we ran out of Logan. Yeah. I mean, who was really dominant, during that co-ed event. So that was a big effort from her. So you got a solid top four there with these top two sort of leading the way, but it'll start getting congested. Once more events start happening and people understand what's going on, I think you find it'll become a lot more congested for sure.
Yeah. What was up there, Puggy? It was a mixed division and a ladies division?
Yeah, mate. Mixed and ladies. Really strong comps up there for ladies in Rocky, which they've done a fantastic job. So the ladies were on show for sure.
Yeah. And was that a platinum event?
Yes. Yeah, platinum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, platinum, which is your C and D grade, right? So C and D grade for platinum. I think the Thunder Ducks in the men's comp might have snuck in as an A and B, and obviously we'll talk about them shortly when we get to the salary cap watch. But they might have stuck in there as a diamond crew, and now they're going to have to break up. But I'm sure we'll cover that soon.
Yeah, well, mate, I was just about to roll into that because while you were up there, I was just following some of the games on the app. And just checking out some of the results and that. And the ones that stood out to me were the Thunder Ducks. They looked like they were a bit similar to what Triple S were down here. They were sort of dominating the competition there. But again, we say stack side, it exposed them quite well. Their salary cap went from, I think when they started, obviously most of them, it's their first time, it was 48,000, and they've shot up to what, 90 grand or something now, Parky? Can we have a look at that?
40, yeah. Let's just we'll bring that up in a minute. But 90 grand for sure. Let's take a look. Let me see if I can find it here. But they were super dominant for sure.
So Ray, when we're talking about that, like so Thunder Ducks, right? You saw Triple S, you saw Thunder Ducks. If we were to play them against each other, are we talking? Are they similar, or are the Triple S a lot better than what Thunder Ducks are? Where are we at?
I think the Thunder Ducks had more Oztag players in their side, and they were very confident in their style of play. Whereas Triple S had one very good standout Oztag player in Dylan, and they also had some touch players who were very good touch players. They were athletes. They could run, they were fast, they could catch, they could pass, they just couldn't tag. So I think, it'd be a pretty close game between the two because one side would struggle with defence, but that same side had a lot of speed amongst themselves. So it'd be interesting to see who would actually battle off there. But definitely, we'll go back to it. The Dean Allen's mullet would definitely win the show for the day.
Mate, I think it's great that the touch players and all the other players from different codes are coming over, mate, because it's starting to expose all these other games that everyone's playing, but they all can come and play Challenger Series on a weekend for maybe one or two events that they get time to do. They might not get time to play your social series and things like that. So I think Challengers are awesome for that, and we can, and you can bring new players in.
It is, mate. And mate, they don't have to play our 10-week comp. They can just jump in, give it a go, and mate, they'll be back. They had a ball. Those players that are coming across who've never played Oztag before are coming and playing Challenger Series because of the format. 3 hours in and out. We've got the fantasy points up here as well. They're getting involved with it. It's they're loving it.
Yeah, mate, that's a fair price there. 90 grand for a team. What's our salary cap? 76.
76K. So they blew it out of the park, right? I mean, you can see here. I mean, you got 4 10Ks. They're going to have to drop those marquee players, at least 2 of those marquee players. But the interesting point here is the $8,000 as well, right? So they got some manoeuvring to do for their next event because they definitely won't be able to bring this same team together, which is great then because it's that balance. That's what salary caps are for. So those other 2 of those players, I don't know how they're going to drop them, but they have to find a way.
even when you mathematically break that down. So let's say, for those at home who don't understand, so they get rid of 2 marquee players and make them your standard $4,000 players. They're only losing $6,000 each off the salary cap. So $6,000 each by players is 12. That's only taken them down to 88. They've still got to lose something else in their team. So it's not as simple as just let's get rid of the 2 marquee players, bring in 2 $4,000 players. They've got to really think about this one.
Well,
I agree.
So what about positional wise? You can't just go, you can't look at it figure wise. If you're looking to create a team that you want to take to, further down the track pro series, and you want to try and stay tight together and you want to go into these things, it's more than just what your cash is worth. Surely you've got to start looking at positions as well. And are you starting to look at other teams? Going, who have they got that's over? Can we, or maybe a $6,000 or a $4,000 from another team that goes pretty good, not getting a lot of runs in that other team? Can we go and coerce them to come into my team?
Oh, I think that's going to happen for sure. But again, I'm probably looking again. We spoke about the other sports just before. I'm going to the other codes out there that are similar to us, and I'm bringing them in as a 4K player every day because I know they're good. But I'm going to start building my roster, and moving my roster around and getting ready for the Pro Series events later on, sort of, next year. I think there's a lot of ways they can do this and be clever, because everyone's just going in with who they know at the moment, which is fine. That's how they're going to do it. But they're going to have to, especially the teams like the Thunder Ducks, are going to be forced to move their teams because they were dominant and probably shouldn't have. Probably should have played in a diamond event and not in the platinum event. So if they had they probably wouldn't have lost any players.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Parky, keep going.
No, mate, that's all I've got. I was hoping you'd chime in with some gold, mate.
No, I don't have gold here, mate. I'm just, I'm full of silver over here, mate.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're more that platinum type event. Yeah.
I'm that platinum, mate. I wouldn't even make gold these days, mate. I got no chance of making any grade at all.
I'll tell you I'll tell you what I did here, which something might be interesting to you blokes.
Yeah.
There is a rumour going around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you heard the rumour?
I've heard a little bit of a whisper. I've heard a whisper.
Look, okay, so talk to us.
Telling everyone.
All right. So the rumour is, the rumour that I've heard is that there could be a Hawaiian trip next year in May for Challenger Series. That's what I've heard.
Well, Ray, you can probably talk to more about this as well, because you did bring it up at the Beef City Brawl, right?
Look,
what was said there?
Secret that 7-8 years ago we did all go over there, and there was an event over there, and the event was sideshow to the actual trip.
Yes, it was.
Parky and I have now discussed this. Well, I think we picked about 3 or 4 dates last year, and they just kept on sort of going, no, not quite right. But we think May's next year's on point. So Parky said, we're going to make it happen. That to me was permission to advertise it. So
So you just started talking. You with your foot in your mouth. I've never heard that before in my life.
The crowd said, mate, just buy me 5 minutes. Get up there and talk about anything. So I screwed away 5 minutes. So regardless of if we want it to happen now, it's happening in May. What
That's a good way to get it off the ground.
How many events we're going to do, location, that doesn't matter. Start booking your plane tickets. We're going to Hawaii, mate.
Yeah. So the rumour's out. The rumour's out because Ray put it out there already, and it was already whispers, but Ray's just put it out, publicly. I mean, Ray, you've already spoken to a few teams. I mean, you got 3 from the Beef City Brawl. Said, well, you put it out there. We're going.
Mate, we literally the mixed divisions, the 2 games that I was involved with in the last one, just keeping an eye on talking to players and everything. Mate, 3 of those 4 teams all said, we're there. Tell me more. Give me more.
And didn't you talk to a few teams down your end of town, mate, down the Goldie way? That
last year when we discussed it and I threw it out, I reckon I had 5 teams all said they were confident they could get teams. Out of that, let's say you drop 1 or 12. So I reckon on paper right now, I could easily have 8 teams there tomorrow if we had to. So given that May is a year away, mate, we potentially could run 2, 3, 4 events or whatever over a week and have multiple events going, multiple activities.
Ray's staying for 3 weeks.
He's staying, yeah, for sure. I mean,
so mate, if you're looking at 16 teams, Sparky, that would be
those. I don't know if we can see that backdrop, but take those palm trees away, and that backdrop was one of the fields where we held it last time, and this iconic scenery and everything. The atmosphere before and after what we do, where everyone meets up at Coco Head, we all climb the mountain together. Everyone meeting at Tiki Bar for happy hour. Everyone meeting Bo and his antics, mate. It's a great trip. It's fun. like priceless.
It is a great trip. I mean, look, for me, the highlight of going there, yes, you're playing at Capilani Park, stone's throw to Waikiki Beach, but Tiki's, as we're looking here on screen right now, and the iconic 44 Mai Tai.
Yeah.
It has brought
Greatest
many a
drink
good person
in the world.
undone. There's a big thing. Don't have 3 and try to go swimming after it. That is one of the rules.
No.
It's a sign up on the thing. Well, actually, it's not a sign, but we did learn that, right?
Yes, we did.
And once
You
both
have to.
pals
I think.
five, they talk to each other.
I think you got to get trained. So it's a daily thing, Parky. You have 2 to start, and then you're done. Next day you go 3. Next day is 4, and then after that it's free for all. You should be.
Can you
should be
only
coached
have
up.
2? Can you only?
you
I mean,
can't.
you can't have 2, mate.
It's
If
so
you're going to have
hard.
2, you might as well have 3. You know.
Best drink there is. So, Parky, what do you reckon, mate, when we get out? Would it be 16 teams, you think, or you think you could go more than that? How do you reckon?
Look, mate, due to the format of Challenger, mate, you could definitely go. Like we had 32 teams over there when we went Hawaii in 2018 for that event. But I mean, you could easy cater for 32 teams again because of the format. Teams can play because of it's only a 3-hour format. Teams can play twice, during that period of time. So they're going to rank up on the leaderboard. There's going to be plenty of other activities as well. So that's the beauty of Challenger and how we can get a lot of games in there, but also cater to a lot of teams that might want to come over.
Mate, any thoughts, maybe even some local teams? We had some local teams there last time.
Yeah, mate. I mean, that's the other thing with Challenger, right? It's a fundraiser for local rugby league, rugby union clubs. So we've got a good relationship with the Harlequins Rugby Union Club over there. Great people to work with. Last time we went over, we had 8 teams playing locally. Right up from the North Shore to their local rugby team. So they were all playing there as well. So I have no doubt they'll form their own event there that will be part of that sort of festival of the Challenger series that we bring up for sure.
Okay, so this is a question going back to what we're talking about with, making your teams well-balanced and things like that. So the Thunder Ducks can't go over together because they're 90,000, right? So they can't play.
Well, at the moment they can't play, but if they do play in another event and those players do drop value, absolutely.
Correct.
Or guess what? Make
That's what
2
I'm
teams.
getting to.
Bring 2 teams over, But yeah, there's definitely ways around what they've done to themselves. But I would, if I was them, I'd be making 2 teams and come over and you can make it a big sort of, because there's a few family members in those teams, so I think they'd be fine.
So boys, out of that whole discussion with Hawaii and the Thunder Ducks, the hot tip out of that, I'd say we need a well-balanced team. The well-balanced team will stay together and it'll still win events, but they just need to balance their teams out well.
Yeah, for sure.
So, boys, we're supposed to have Ryan from Harvey Bay on, but he has a bit of technical issues up there at the moment, so we couldn't get him on. He has a Challenger Series, his first one this Sunday. Parky, you're heading up for that one, the winter warm-up, I think that one's called. So they're going to be excited. They went to the one at Caloundra last year, didn't they? Some of the crew from Harvey Bay, they had a great time.
Yeah, well, this is why Ryan he obviously up there running Harvey Bay Oztag, which is killing it at the moment. But a lot of his players, or a whole team of his crew came. They actually won the event down in Caloundra when they travelled down. But he's got a whole crew coming back. They loved it that much. Ryan's going, well, mate, I need to be doing Challenger Series events up here in the Bay, which he's done. And, mate, yeah, he's got 8 teams there. He's going to have a ball.
Yeah, good, because he went all right. He finished 25th out of 25 at that event. So I'm sure he's getting plenty of knocks on the door for people wanting him to join their team. Boys, I'm just going to roll into something I've noticed at the Challenger Series at the moment, because obviously I'm doing a bit of the commentary on the sidelines. I'm getting to know a lot of people. But what I've started to notice is players, well, some teams are actually starting to get coaches. And if they're not coaches, they're friends that are actually following the app and they're following the live timeline of the game. And they're checking out where the X challenges are supposed to be played. And if they're playing against a team that doesn't have that happening, they're sort of telling them maybe score in the left corner, that's where it is. But that's actually not where it is. So they're having a bit of a play with the team that they're playing against. Guys, your thoughts on this? Has anyone else noticed this happening?
Yep. So Beef Challenge last week, we were up there for that. And I think it was the second chase the margin game. And one team who was trying to defend their ass off and trying to defend the margin, they knew if they conceded in the X Challenge, they were going to lose it. So they were they will let the other team know they've got to score here, they've got to score here. Mate, they didn't need to score there. They didn't want to score where they scored, and that ended up winning in the games.
I think too, Ray, and just watching on those sidelines, if you don't have that app, like you guys said before, if you don't have that app on the sideline, or you don't have that coach, you're probably not going to win because you have no clue what's going on. So if it's an X challenge, and I know a lot of the people listening don't know what an X challenge is just yet, but you will, and we'll let you know more about it. And there's a few videos out there that are going to be dropping soon for it. But the whole tactics change, the energy change after about game 2 when people start thinking they understand what's going on. The sideline energy changes, the chat changes. So it's just make sure you've got your app. We'll show you where to download the app. But if you don't have it, and you're playing Challenger Series like we know you will be soon, I mean, you're going to do yourself a disservice for sure. But I mean, you were actually watching from the Goldie while we were in Rocky.
Yeah. So I was watching
on live. Yeah,
and I was looking at the chase the margins because I think that's made it quite really, really exciting. What I found is the first 3 games, especially with the people who haven't played Challenger Series before, they're just working it out over the first 3 games, and then when that chase the margin kicks in, it just creates a different atmosphere. It creates a different energy. Whether you're the good team or you're the bad team, you've got to do one of the other. You either got to chase the margin or you got to defend the margin. So that creates something different. I noticed on the Goldie with the Triple S mixed team, mate, they were screaming because they were like 44 points they had to get or something. I can't remember now, but they were screaming from the sideline at their subs going, get on your phone. Are we there? We just scored in the left corner. Have we got it yet? Yes, no. Boys, hurry up. Oh, I don't know how to use it. I'm going, oh, my God. The other team's got the coach there going, yeah, you still got to do. They're not telling them anything. They were keeping it all quiet, all the secret. So it just created such a good atmosphere on the sideline. I loved every second of it.
Yeah. And mate, listen to it, like even the Thunder Ducks, even though they dominated that event up at Beef City Brawl, the last game they lost. Yeah. So they couldn't chase because of their margin. They couldn't chase down the margin, so they actually lost that game. Yes, the other team defended the margin well and beat them only by 3, but it was still a win. So it kept that other team in it who had been dominated in the early rounds. They won that game because they defended the margin.
And that's with the defend the margin part, Parky, I suppose you can talk more. We've got bi-monthly prizes or whatever, so that's where defend margin comes in, doesn't it? You probably can talk more on that. Yeah.
So obviously there's 4 teams that in each of these divisions, right? So basically you got the top 2. They'll basically go into a winners and runners up draw for a pot of money each bi-monthly period. But also the teams that are finishing 3rd and 4th, typically they get nothing, right? But if they defend the margin in those last 2 games, they'll also go into a bi-monthly draw, not for the same pot of money, but the 3rd and 4th chase the margin pot.
Yeah, right.
Right. So if they successfully defend that, they're still in it to win some dollars. So even if they're finishing 3rd and 4th, they've got something to play for sure.
So it's not just the point system for their leaderboard for their team. It's actually there's cash as well. Yeah, right.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely. So I'll put some more on the line for them to go, okay, we're going to defend this. Let's go. So now a lot of teams don't know yet, but the energy's still high. But as soon as they understand this and they go into that pot, because not everyone is defending the margin because I don't think they understand it yet.
Yeah.
But the ones that do that get it, they're going, okay, we're on here. Yeah.
So what are we defending, Ray? Like we've spoken about this on a couple of the potties before about where we're trying. Are we defending the X challenge? Because if they don't get the X challenge, it becomes extremely hard for those teams to chase it down. Correct?
Yeah, 100%. It depends on how big a margin you got. So if you're in a tight battle division where you might only be defending 10 points, right? So if you're defending 10 points, you've also got to play a bit of attack in that game. Because if you score, let's say you scored a zone 3 try in the middle, that's a 6-point try. So
now
10
we're
points
16.
becomes 6 points.
Yeah.
So that's almost double the margin. Whereas if you're getting flogged and you're defending, say, a 45, 50-point margin because you've had a bad couple of rounds, now you're just defending the X zone, the X challenges areas, because you don't want them to get in the X challenge. Because for those who don't know, we normally have 2 specific try zones. If you score 1 try, then the next in order, it's 25 points for you, plus the try scoring. So when you're chasing the margin or defending the margin, straight away, if I know that, hey, all I've got to defend is don't let him get the X challenge and I can save 25 points and I can do the rest on our own, you're defending those zones very heavily. So that changes your mindset on how you play the game.
I've noticed some people and some tactics starting to come up where some players are defending there, knowing that they've already got the X challenge. They're defending there, and as the player's running through, they've let them go, so they score there. So then they lose their X challenge. So that's another tactic that people are starting to use.
There are so many different levels to this game that we're playing. But you're still playing the basic Oztag rules, Oztag number of players on the field, same rule, everything. It's just if you're chasing these fantasy points and everything, your mindset is completely different. It is a different game without being a different game.
Yeah, it's very
I
exciting.
think also going back to the app party you were talking about before. I mean, the game timeline. You know the times that the other team scored, what they're getting. So if you haven't got the app on the sideline, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. I mean, the other thing is you've got the team lineups are all on there, so you can actually see who you're playing against, what their values are, all those sorts of bits and pieces, what numbers they are, so you know who's who in the zoo before you even get there. I guess what we're trying to say is utilize the app as much as you can, and you will have a better chance of winning or stopping them from the opposition from scoring for sure.
Well, mate,
And
I'm still learning. Sorry, Ray, I'm still learning on the app because I was on there earlier today and I was having a look at teams and things like that. And I looked into the teams and their salary caps, and I noticed on the bottom that I could actually ask to join that team, which was pretty cool. I thought, imagine that. Imagine if you're in a team, like if you're in Dylan's team, say in Triple S. Mate, he's stealing all the points. I'm out. I've had enough. I'm looking at other teams going, who needs a $6,000 to $8,000 player? I might just send him a message. Hey, I played in a couple of challenge series. I'm looking for, I request to play or something like that? And then you get the call. Imagine getting the call. Yeah, man, you can come join us. Hey, Dill, sorry, mate, I'm going over to play with this team. And then the next Challenger series, I turn up and I'm playing against my old team. That's cool.
Yeah. And I think that'll become more prevalent in the next sort of 6 to 8 months, mate. Once people understand, how to use it, all those sort of little elements that are built in there, will definitely come out for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
So just quickly touching back on the app, though, using the app to your advantage. So you might have played game one, not switched on enough, not really focusing in that. But then when you got to play that team again, you go on that app, you can straight away see who their most two valuable players are. So if I know player A, let's go talk about the Beef Brawl, and Dean Allen scoring 2 tries on average. After 6 games, he's roughly getting 1,000 points a game. And I'm double tagging him in the game. 2 players defending him. If I've got another player who's not scoring any points, let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it changes the way you defend the team. So if we talk about Gold Coast because Dylan's got a reputation. If I saw those stats, mate, I'll put 3 players on him. Leave half the team because they don't touch the ball. So you can change the whole way you defend on the stats per game, and that's what's good about it. But you've got to have it, though. If you don't have it, you can't use it.
But if I'm a player, mate, and I'm playing, that's a lot for a head, like, my brain. I would need a coach, somebody with that, a little bit of smarts, might have done a bit of research before we got there. And then and just tell me what to do. I can't look at that while I'm playing.
And going in some of the events we've already hosted, the older age groups, the older adults and everything, you probably want to identify that. But whenever we've had a team where young kids are playing or the minor age groups, parents are involved. They are heavily already into it.
Yeah, I know.
They are educating themselves game after game. By the end of it, they're telling us what's happening. So it's interesting to see, like you said, put a full-time coach out there. It's not hard to work out. So it's good.
Yeah.
Well, boys, that's been awesome. There's a lot of stuff that we got through there today. So we might wrap it up there. And next time we'll get into some more Challenger Series stuff.